You know what I hear? I hear the clock ticking. And time waits for no man. Life goes by, and it goes by quick. Don't waste those years. Don't waste them. Live them. I want you to be terrified of sitting on the sidelines and doing nothing. Waking up in 6 days or 6 weeks or 6 years or 60 years and being no closer to your goal. You've made no progress. That is the nightmare. That is what you really need to be afraid of, being stagnant. So, get up and go. That idea isn't going to execute itself. That book isn't going to write itself. Those weights out in the gym, they aren't going to move themselves. You have to do it. And you have to do it now. Don't wait anymore. Don't think anymore. Don't plan anymore. Don't contemplate anymore. Don't make any more excuses or justifications. Don't rationalize anything else. No. Take the risk. Take the gamble. Take the first step. Take action now. No complacency. No backing off. No slack whatsoever.
No more dreaming. Dreaming is over. I need specifics. What are you doing on Monday? What are you doing on Tuesday? What are you doing on Wednesday? You need to be very specific. It's time to put your pieces together of your puzzle. You need to be in a big damn hurry. Time is running out on you. There's 86,400 seconds in a day. The separator between me and you and people that win and lose is what we do with those seconds. And you're too slow. You're too casual. You think too much. You need to get in a hurry because there's an end to your life and it's coming sooner than you think. It goes by in a flicker and at some point it's going to be over.
And we want to make a conscious, deliberate, determined effort to start living life with a sense of urgency and using what we've got, using ourselves up, sharing what we brought into the universe to share. Because if we don't, nobody else will. Stop wasting valuable time. If we begin to live our lives as if each day were our last, our lives will take on a whole new meaning.
When you die, when life is over for you, I don't want you to have one idea left in you. I don't want one dream left in you. When you die, I want you to go for broke. Every CD that you were supposed to do, every book you were supposed to write, I want you to get everything out your system.
We get one shot at this gig right here, life. So do not wait. Go forward. No more waiting for the perfect moment, and no more indecision, and no more lies. Take the action. Get out of bed, get your feet on the ground, step forward. Give every day everything you've got. Every ounce of energy, every bead of sweat, every drop of blood until your last breath. And don't let another day slip by. It can be pretty easy to focus on the battle that's right in front of your face. And when you're doing that, sometimes you can lose track of the long-term goal. But I want to have that long-term goal so embedded in my mind that I never lose sight of it. Ever. And those little tasks and projects and short-term goals that you tackle, they need to lead toward that strategic victory. Winning the long war. And we get very caught up in instant gratification. We want results now. We want the shortcut to the winner's podium. And sometimes, when we don't get that short-term glory that we want, we lose track of those long-term goals. And you look up in 6 weeks or in 6 months or in 6 years, and you've made no progress. None.
You never moved. You might even be further from your goal than you were. Why? Why did you let that happen? It's because you lost sight of that long-term goal. And at some point, after you lose sight of that goal and years have gone by, you think to yourself, maybe I can't. Maybe I can't do it. And so you give up. You let it fade. And you settle. You settle for mediocrity. You settle for average. You settle for, oh well. But no. Don't do that. Embed that long-term goal in your mind. Burn it into your soul. Think about it and write about it and talk about it and hang it up on your wall. But most important, do something about it. Do something about it every day. Do something that moves you toward that goal, that keeps the goal alive and in sight and in focus. However small or insignificant that step might seem, take it, do it, do that little piece. Make it happen. Because that goal isn't going to achieve itself. It's all on you.
You can let your dreams slip away as you indulge in distractions, laziness, and self-pity. Or you can decide to rise up to show the world that you are not average, that you are meant for something far greater than mediocrity. The difference between average and extraordinary is in the daily choices you make. Every time you get up, every time you push through the pain, every time you do what others are unwilling to do, you are laying the foundation for something remarkable. You are telling life that you will not be defeated. You are showing up. And yes, it's hard. It's supposed to be hard. If it were easy, everyone would do it. But that's the point. You were not made for easy. You were made for greatness. Here's something I want you to understand. You're not just fighting against time or circumstances or other people. You're fighting against yourself. Every time you let yourself off the hook, every time you choose comfort over effort, every time you think about giving up and decide to settle, you're saying, I'm okay with where I am right now. But are you really okay with it? Are you truly satisfied with living a life of mediocrity filled with half-hearted attempts and regrets? Because if you are, that's fine. But if you're not, then it's time to wake up. Greatness doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care how tired you are or how many obstacles stand in your way. It doesn't care how many times you failed before. All greatness wants to know is, are you willing to show up every day? Are you willing to make the sacrifice? Are you willing to grind, to push through when everyone else is stopping? That's what separates the champion from the rest. It's not talent. It's not luck. It's the willingness to keep going when the world tells you to quit. Think about this. Why do we celebrate athletes like Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Serena Williams, or Usain Bolt? Why do we talk about them like they're gods? It's because they do what most people are not willing to do. They train when no one is watching. They put in the hours when everyone else is resting. And when everyone else is looking for the easy way out, they go the extra mile because they know that greatness is not a destination, it's a habit. You can't wait for motivation to come to you. You can't wait for someone to give you a reason to push harder. The reason to push is inside you. It's the dream that burns in your heart, the vision that won't let you sleep, the hunger for something more than the life you're living right now.
You begin to look at yourself. You got to redefine yourself. Who are you right now? And who must you become in order to create what you want? What has to change about you? What is it that you're doing right now that would be a liability for you? As you begin to look toward the future and take inventory of yourself, what is it about you right now that you've got to leave this behind because this no longer fits? Looking at where you want to go and the kind of person that you must become, the kind of standards that you have for you, what is it that you must do differently? It makes sense unless you change your pattern. unless you change the way you're thinking, unless you change your behavior, you're going to continue to produce the results in your life. See, all of us are winners, but some of us are producing results that we don't want. And so all you have to do is look at your game plan, look at your strategy. How is it that you have been being? What is it that you've been doing to produce this? See, you're the director, you're the producer, you're writing the script, you're the star of your life. And as you begin to look at your life, you can decide whether or not it's a smash or whether or not it's a flop. That's in your hands. Look at your life, look at where you want to go. Don't worry about your circumstances. Don't worry about your age. I have a friend who's up in age, over 70, and she wanted to build a multi-million-dollar complex. The name is Dr. Johnny Coleman. Lenders and bankers say, you can't do that, you're too old. She ignored them. That building now stands, ladies and gentlemen, a multi-million-dollar structure. But there are a lot of people who would have listened to that. There are a lot of people that would not have even gotten to that point. They would have talked themselves out of even going down to the bank to ask for it, because they've already said no to themselves. See, it's time now. If you want to make this your decade, you've got to start saying yes to your life. You've got to start saying yes to your dreams, yes to your unfolding future, yes to your potential, as opposed to saying no. See, 87% of our self-talk is negative. So you've got to make a conscious, deliberate, determined effort to say yes to your dreams.
Your brain is the most powerful weapon in the world. Once you put away your phones and your computers and all that we have nowadays, yeah, that's great. We're up to date, but your brain is the only thing you have when you're going through depression, when you're going through hard times, when you're going through death. Real life, you can't Google that, man. You're alone. You're alone. You may have a shrink you're going to, you may have a best friend you're going to, but there's 24 hours in the day where you're alone in this brain, and your brain is talking to you in all kinds of ways, and it wants to control you and pull you in these different pockets. If you can't control your own brain and your brain controls you, you got to tell your brain where you want to go and how you want to go and how you want to get there. You got to control it. If not, it's over. What existed for me was, okay, man, how am I going to make this work? And all I knew back then was hard work. The only way anything gets accomplished. That's all I heard back in those days. You got to work hard. You got to work hard. I'm not getting I can't get this paragraph. I can't remember what in this paragraph to pass this test to get in the military. Read it again. Still not getting it. Read it again. But if you're not getting it, write it out. And that's how I started learning. Okay, well, I gotta write out everything I do. And then write it out again. And write it out again. And guess what happened? I got it. I can't swim. I'm negative buoyant. Go back again. I can't swim. Go back again. Go back again. Go back again. I got it. I realized if I keep going back and going back and going back until the just becomes, your mind will say, okay, we're gonna figure it out, because he is not going to stop. It's not like I'm gonna try one more time. No, it's just like alarm clock goes off, boop, we're going back. I can't read right, we're going back. I gave myself no way out, and my mind realized that. They said, okay, we're gonna adapt and overcome now.
The bottom line is, no one's coming. No one. No one's coming to push you. No one's coming to tell you to turn the TV off. No one's coming to tell you to get out the door and exercise. Nobody's coming to tell you to apply for that job that you've always dreamt about. Nobody's coming to write the business plan for you. It's up to you. And because you're only ever going to do the things that you feel like doing right now or that feel good right now, unless you understand that you've got to parent yourself, you got to push yourself, you're not going to make your dreams come true. You're just not.
You know, life created this person, me. Life created me to be this fucked up person that I was back in the day. And I had to realize, man, that's okay, man. It's not my fault. Now I gotta go back and fix this shit though. So a lot of this isn't your fault, why you do some things you do, why you feel the way you feel. But no one's coming back to save your ass. You have to go back to where the shit started, wherever that place is for everybody, and have the courage to go back there and start fixing what broke you. So whenever shit gets nasty, David Goggins goes, "You had nobody anyway, motherfucker. You had nobody anyway, motherfucker. Look around you. There was no fucking team. It was you." But everybody needs that pat on the back. They need that training partner. They need that accountability coach. I hear that shit. And neither do they. But it's what we've trained ourselves to believe that we need.
One of my direct subordinates, one of my guys that worked for me, he would call me up or pull me aside with some major problem, some issue that was going on. And he'd say, "Boss, we got this and that and the other thing." And I'd look at him and I'd say, "Good." And finally one day he was telling me about some issue that he was having, some problem, and he said, "I already know what you're going to say." And I said, "Well, what am I going to say?" He said, "You're going to say good." He said, "That's what you always say. When something is wrong and going bad, you always just look at me and say good." And I said, "Well, yeah. When things are going bad, there's going to be some good that's going to come from it. Didn't get the new high-speed gear we wanted? Good. Didn't get promoted? Good. More time to get better. Oh, mission got canceled? Good. We can focus on another one. Didn't get funded. Didn't get the job you wanted. Got injured. Sprained my ankle. Got tapped out? Good. Got beat? Good. You learned. Unexpected problems? Good. We have the opportunity to figure out a solution." That's it. When things are going bad, don't get all bummed out, don't get startled, don't get frustrated. If you can say the word good, guess what? It means you're still alive. It means you're still breathing. And if you're still breathing, well then hell, you still got some fight left in you. So get up, dust off, reload, recalibrate, re-engage, and go out on the attack.
Self-discipline is about empowerment. It's about taking control of your life, your actions, and your future. It's about becoming the captain of your own ship, steering it through calm seas and stormy waters alike, always moving toward your chosen destination. Now let's begin our journey into the heart of self-discipline. I remember a time in my early years when I felt lost. Not lost in the sense of being stranded somewhere, but lost in my direction in life. I was working hard, doing what I thought I was supposed to do, going to my job, paying my bills, making ends meet, but deep down, I knew something was missing. I wasn't struggling, but I wasn't growing either. And that, my friends, is a dangerous place to be. Because when you're not growing, you're slowly fading. Then one day I met a mentor. He was a successful businessman, wise beyond his years. He looked at me and asked, "Jim, where are you going?" And I remember laughing and saying, "Well, I'm working hard trying to make a living." He nodded, but then leaned in closer and asked again. It's not what I asked. I asked, "Where are you going?" And in that moment, I realized something profound. I didn't have an answer. And that, my friends, was the problem. Because you see, self-discipline without vision is like a ship without a captain. It doesn't matter how powerful the engine is. Without direction, you'll just drift. And the problem with drifting is that you end up somewhere you never intended to be. I realized I had been putting in the effort, but I had no real destination. No clear vision. No defined future. And when you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. That day I made a decision. I was going to get clear about what I wanted. No more guessing. No more hoping things would work out. I sat down with a pen and paper and asked myself, what do I truly want? And that, my friends, was the beginning of a brand new life. Let me tell you something. Successful people don't guess their way to the top. No one wakes up one morning and accidentally becomes successful. No one stumbles into a great career, a thriving business, or an extraordinary life. They see it before they create it. They have a vision so clear, so vivid, that it's almost real before it even happens. And that vision pulls them forward,